Sir, what happened?
That guy behind me, he just got f***ing dragged into the forest by some black arm.
I knew this would happen. Alright, listen to me. Drive now.
Yo, what's up guys? Rai Horror here, and before we start the video, I just want to say thank you so much for 885 subscribers. We are so close to 1000, and I just want to say thank you so much to the Rai squad for making everything possible. I just want to thank you guys for the support and all the love you've been showing. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this video. This is a story from Reddit by Cars, Planes, Trains. Narrated and animated by me, Rai Horror. Exit 24. It's almost strange how driving at night gets less magical every time you do it. The first time you look at the lights of the cities and other cars and gaze at the stars through the front window. After the millionth time, however, it all gets indifferent. Everything fades in the background, just like it would do in daylight. The lights don't stand out anymore. They're just a part of the scenery, like cities are, while seen from a distance during the day. The magic of the night seems to disappear over time. This is how I felt while driving home. Me and my fiancée had just moved into our first house, and it was a beautiful moment for me and Zoe to finally enter the house while it was under our ownership. However, the stress of the moving soon caught up with us, as getting all our things to the new house was a long and tedious operation. On the first night, we were done with moving everything. However, Zoe had already forgotten something. Apparently her beauty case had been left at her parents' house on the other side of the country. I tried to convince her that it could wait a night, but she told me it was way too important for that, and since I was the only one with a car, I should go. Not wanting an argument on our first night in the house, I agreed and hopped in my car, off to be a hero and get that beauty case. The ride to my in-laws' house went on without trouble. My trusty old Audi had given me no trouble, and the radio actually played some decent music, making the drive very tolerable. Although the drive started while there was still plenty daylight. At the time I arrived at my destination, the sun had disappeared behind the horizon, and only the moonlight guided my path to the driveway of the house. Zoe's father was quite irritated with the disturbance, but her mother completely understood the predicament and quickly grabbed the case. They gave me a bottle of water for on the way, and with that, I was on the road again. That month, I had driven through the night countless times, so the magic of it was completely gone. I drove mindlessly, just trying to get home in a reasonable amount of time. Unfortunately, my surroundings weren't the only thing I wasn't paying attention to, and soon, my fuel meter was getting very close to the E. Not now, not now! But yelling doesn't add fuel to the car, so I was frantically looking for a gas station. Finally, I saw an exit and immediately took it. This apparently was exit 24, although the previous exit was 12. And that wasn't the only weird thing. It had a sign saying there was a gas station, but it seemingly went into a forest. However, I didn't have time to worry about where the road went, or the numbering of exits. I just needed some gas, and fast. I looked in my mirror and saw that a big SUV had taken the exit too. This reassured me a bit, as I wasn't alone anymore. A corner in the road came, a corner I had wished I never took. Around the corner, it seemed like I had driven into a new hellish world. The entire forest seemed to be on fire. All the trees except from the ones near the road were burning, coloring the sky red. How the hell did I not see this while on the highway? Just as I said that, the screams began. Sounds of people being tortured and gruesomely murdered came from everywhere in the forest, without seeing anyone causing the sound. I checked my mirror and the SUV was still there, so I wasn't the only one. I checked the road again and immediately slammed the brakes. In front of me lied hundreds of corpses, in the middle of the road. All were horribly mutilated and blocked. They were laid on the road perfectly, but it now seemed like the screaming had stopped. The sight of all these bodies was too much, so I grabbed my phone to call the police. Strangely enough, the call didn't connect me to the National Police, but to a local bureau. Still, police were police. I told the operator everything I saw, saying I needed help soon. However, the operator stayed calm, almost like she had experience with this particular situation.
Where is your location?
Somewhere near exit 24.
Okay, no matter what, stay in the car and keep on driving.
The guy from the SUV had gotten out and was now trying to contact me. I rolled down my window and immediately regretted it.
What are you thinking? You could have caused a crash with braking like that. What kind of moron are you?
I pointed to the bodies all over the road. He looked shocked for a minute, but after that, it was back to the insults.
Who is that guy?
The operator asked, apparently having heard his voice.
Some guy who was behind me while I braked for the bodies. He's now yelling at me.
Wait, is he out of his vehicle?
Yes, why?
I couldn't even finish my sentence.
Ah,
I was still wondering why it was a problem that he was out of his car when it happened. A black void-like arm came out of the flaming forest and grabbed the guy by the stomach. He screamed loudly while being taken to the forest. Then, his gigantic car behind me was picked up and tossed away like a coin.
Sir, what happened?
That guy behind me, he just got dragged into the forest by some black arm.
I knew this would happen. Alright, listen to me. Drive now. The gas station you're looking for is only a mile away from your location. Just drive. Please.
She didn't have to tell me twice, and I pressed the gas pedal. With the tire smoke, I screeched off, with the screaming starting again. Now, one voice louder. As soon as I passed through the bodies, they seemed to vanish into thin air. I arrived at the gas station, which was indeed there. The second I arrived there, the fires and the screams seemed to instantly stop. It was a very modern and clean facility, in sharp contrast with the landscape I had just driven through. Luckily, there was no one there, so I filled up my car, paid, and drove away. I almost screamed with happiness when I got back on the highway and saw other cars around me. The terror was finally over. I arrived home around 3 AM, where Zoe was still awake.
Are you all right? You look like you've seen a ghost,
She said, while I put down the case. There was a large car crash. Lots of blood and ambulances. Not a pretty sight. I lied.
Oh yeah, that's not fun. Well anyways, thank you for bringing my beauty case.
Yay, I'm a hero now. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to bed. Zoe laughed, but I couldn't. Since the experience, I've tried multiple forms of therapy, but nothing seems to truly help. I can now put the event somewhat out of my mind, but every time I have to drive at night, I make sure my fuel tank is 100% full, and every time I look at that bottle my in-laws gave me, full of vaporized water, I think of that night and all the horrible events that happened.